You didn't get to know anything that I was about. You didn't even try.
There were kind of a few things that happened from my perspective
Okay.
that just kind of maybe gave me the wrong impression.
From 9 weeks ago? From 9 weeks ago, bro. Like, she's all over this dude.
So he should be jealous of my exes or something. Like, he should be thinking about them
Jealousy
than
is
of
crazy. Previously planned vacation, actually before
Prior
we
to you
met,
coming on the
prior to
show.
me coming on the show.
Okay.
And she inquired who I was going with. And I told her, and it was a friend and actually an ex, but we're still friends, friend of mine. She's
You said it's an ex?
Ex and a friend, yeah.
He's sitting here trying to explain how his ex from a year ago is just a friend and it's appropriate for him to go on a trip with her where he's staying in the same bed with her. Yo, what the hell am I watching? Bro, this is what y'all going through out there? Then she talking about, if you're going to be worried about anybody, don't be worried about my baby daddy. You need to be worried about my exes. Like, what?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's your host, Arlette, and we are here today with Jeremy and Brellaunte. Welcome, y'all. How we feeling?
Hey, what's happening? Thank you for having us.
Good. So we had you both on episode 19 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you guys ended up matching. Okay, so is it going to be a yes for you for him?
yeah.
And is it a yes for you for her?
Absolutely.
We got a man!
Yo, I'm so glad he got rid of them braids with that little ponytail. Fellas, you know how we be talking about the ladies when they be having the little nugget on the back of their head with trying to make a ponytail out of nothing? It's the same thing for us. We can't be out here with the little nugget on our head. That shit looks crazy.
Yes! I'll take this. Y'all going off. Yes!
That's fire.
Okay, so obviously,
I
on
hope they
the
match.
show, we got to know you guys a little bit. You told us, just a few things here or there. Have you guys gone on a date?
Do you want to tell him, Jeremy, or?
That's a no.
Go for it, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
That gotta be a no.
So I'm gonna say, so after we left the show, I offered him if he wanted to come and join me. At the time, I was already having a barbecue
Okay.
with my family.
And this was back in LA?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
here.
Oh, in Arizona.
Yeah,
Okay.
my family's here. So
Oh,
I
right.
rented a big Airbnb.
Uh-huh.
I threw my niece a birthday party, and that's kind of what I was rushing to get back to a little bit.
Got it. Okay.
And, I offered for him to come, but I did give the option, like, if you don't want to come, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm going right now. So if you want to come, it's barbecue, we're there, we're partying, we're drinking, we're having fun.
Right.
I'm very family oriented. So I'm very friends, like, if you're around me, you're going to be around the people that I love.
Yeah.
And if you have an issue with that, it's kind of like,
No.
like, obviously, you don't need to be with me.
Yeah.
I'm also family oriented. I think we talked about that on the show. And got a chance to meet her family. I had a really good time. We played dominoes.
Okay.
So
She looking like there's another story.
Like she said, I kind of stayed a little later and then I went home. We were supposed to meet the next day. I think I was expecting her to I think we had a plan that she would let me know when she was free, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then that didn't happen. So we ended up kind of she kind of just went back home, and so we had talked about possibly having a date. Obviously with me having to go to LA or she coming back here.
Okay, so the next day when you guys were supposed to go on this so-called date, was that something you guys had discussed while you guys were at the barbecue, and then the next day there was no follow-up on it, or what happened?
We kind of discussed that the morning time, I think.
Okay.
It was more because he actually stays around where my sister stays. So we're in the same area.
Okay.
Almost same facility. And
Right.
so, but I was so much with my sister and stuff. They don't get to see me that much. And so from breakfast, we have all the kids. It's just so much stuff right now that I can't bring him into
Okay.
right now.
Okay, so what went wrong? Was there just
Oh, would you like to tell him what went wrong, Jeremy? Huh?
I think
Actually, no, let's hear from Jeremy.
Yeah,
she went
let's
first with the
let him
story.
say
Let's
what
hear from
went
you
wrong.
now.
I think there were kind of a few things that happened from my perspective
Okay.
that just kind of maybe gave me the wrong impression or kind of set up the wrong kind of idea. And so ultimately, we came to there was a situation in which I was going out of town.
Okay.
I was going on a vacation. Previously planned vacation, actually before
Prior to
we
you
met,
coming on the
prior to
show.
me coming on the show.
Okay.
And she inquired who I was going with, and I told her, and it was a friend and actually an ex. But we're still friends. Friend of mine. She's
You said it's an ex?
Ex and a friend. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So obviously, so we were okay. Let me tell you, we were on the phone. We're talking, getting to know each other. You know, He said he's gonna go to Puerto Rico for his birthday, and I was like, "Oh, fun! Like, who are you going with?"
Right.
Like, he said he skipped the question first. He skipped the question, and then I was like,
I did, absolutely did.
"Oh,
Jeremy.
okay." But then I asked again, like, "Wait, who are you going with?" And he said, "My ex," and I was like, "I think my phone's dying." So after that, I never talked to him again. I hung up.
Oh,
We never talked until the only way we talked again, because I think he called me a few times after that. I did not answer. There was no reason. There was no reason for us to talk. There's no reason.
So you didn't tell him why you're no
There's
longer
no
talking to
reason
him?
to talk.
going on a trip with your ex, having a trip. Now, let me divvy down a little bit deeper. Having a trip already planned with your ex, but going on a dating show to find love is crazy. Bro, what are you doing? How did you think that was gonna work? This is what I'm talking about. Like, some dudes, their ego be way too big, bro. You probably thought, oh, I'm the man. All I gotta do is just, I let her know she'll be all right. I'm that guy. Who's not gonna want to mess with me? You basically sacrificed a new relationship for somebody that it didn't work out with. Bro, do better, my nigga. Do better. Y'all be sacrificing stuff for people that it didn't work out with. They had all the answers wrong on the test. It didn't work. So you sacrifice somebody that could possibly get it right for somebody that already proven they don't know how to do it properly.
Card.
Okay, I have receipts, but it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
And it was. You're going. What do you wanted me to do? Tell you like. How was the vacation with your ex? Like, did you guys chill on the beach or something? Like, did you want me to wait for when you got back? And then it's like, there was no talking afterwards.
Okay.
Well, there was nothing for us to talk about. And we didn't recently talk again until
You don't see
I
nothing wrong with
found
that?
out that, people were sending me things. And they were sending me things like, oh, he went on a different podcast. He talked about you. He talked a lot of mess about you. He said things, talked about your family, talked about this and how it wasn't. And I was like, wait, what? He's kind of capped because that didn't happen.
Some of what I observed and seen kind of led me to kind of believe that it wasn't as serious as like.
Okay, such as what?
I mean, there was some transparency, some things she told me in confidence that I would rather not share.
No problem.
But I will say
That's real.
that there were some things that she told me that she was processing through that kind of just, put it in a different perspective for me as far as the seriousness of like what was happening.
Okay, so you think she wasn't as serious about getting to know you?
Well,
or?
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I just didn't think we were in a space to where I would cancel a trip with an ex or a friend because I met you. I just didn't think we were in a space where that would even be a reasonable ask, that I was obligated to do that.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Like, if y'all wasn't at that place of like talking, if it didn't seem like it was that serious, then okay, I can understand that. But the fact that you even had a trip planned before going on a dating show to meet somebody else is like, what were you thinking? Like, what were you? It sounds like you still stuck on your ex.
That it mattered who I was going on the trip with at all, when we had only, hung out with each other one time. So from my perspective, based off of as well of what I kind of observed and understood, she already currently had going on. So I would have thought that would have been kind of just to,
She had
like
going
kind of a drop
on.
in the bucket, if you will.
Okay.
Without saying too much, but to me, it was like I didn't think it was that serious, and so I mean, which is also why I had no problem with being just kind of forthcoming about it and honest. And so if she didn't like it, which is cool.
Okay.
But she did kind of like make some sort of whatever kind of funny comment when I actually did go on vacation. She told me happy birthday and was like some sort of comment, I hope you enjoying or something with your ex.
Oh yeah, of course. I think we were still following each other, and I said, "Happy birthday! You're in Puerto Rico. I hope you have fun with your ex."
And
like,
so
it
I
was great.
responded and so even at that point,
think I
I
blocked
thought
you.
that there was maybe some sort of, attempt to continue conversation.
Okay.
But so when I responded, I forgot what she said, but she said something to the effect, which is basically like kind of like ask if it was kind of, I felt questioned. And so I never responded to that. And that was our last communication before the podcast. And I do have receipts.
Okay. So after you guys had the conversation, she was like, "Oh, you're going with your ex." You just left it at that. You weren't
Yeah.
you weren't interested enough, basically, is what you're saying, to
Yeah,
continue
to
it.
continue. There was nothing else to like. I mean, like if she liked it, she liked it. If she did, fine. But I just didn't. I didn't think I owed her that explanation, and I thought it was something that was just like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Dude, you dodged a bullet, brother. Any girl posted up like this right here on Instagram just likes attention. You know what I mean? And she's there for the streets. She's there for the streets, for the highway, for all that. She just likes attention, bro. I'm not gonna lie. When I seen her first on the Pop the Balloon show, I didn't think she was gonna match with anybody because I always go through everybody's Instagram and stuff. And her Instagram failed. But it actually failed drastically. Like, her shit is bad. Like, I mean, she's up here with dudes. She's up here halfway naked. She's up here just looking for attention. She's outside. Like, just all type of stuff that I'm just like, no. Her Instagram is an L. So I didn't think she was looking for love when she came on the show. So I just don't understand why people go on these shows knowing they have all this baggage. Like, why would he go on the show knowing you got a trip with your ex? Why would she go on the show knowing that she's possibly not ready to move on into another relationship? Like, why? What is the reason for these things?
Something new, right? So we came on here to find that other person love. Obviously, we've had stuff in our past. Like, you're saying that, for what he doesn't want to say, saying that I'm still in love with my ex. No, I told him I always have love for my ex. Because I was like, my ex-fiance, whatever. I always have love, but I'm not in love. If I
Okay.
was in love with that person, I would go be there fighting for that person, to be with that person. But no, I told him, like, I'm single. I'm here. Like, I didn't give you no, like, I'm with this, I'm with that. I told you what I
I'm single, I'm here, but I still have love for my ex. Ma'am. Y'all both sound crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, y'all both had no business being on this show. That's what we gotta chalk this up
do.
to.
I do my music. I take care of my kid by myself. I take care of my own responsibilities. I'm independent. And then all I need is somebody there with me to make me happy and have fun. I never once given him that, sign that I'm still talking to him. I'm this. Like, never once, because we didn't even get that far. Now, for him to be like, he doesn't owe me anything, it's kind of messed up, because it's like, I'm not expecting you to owe me anything. Like, you should be a gentleman. Like, you came to me and you're looking for this, I'm looking for the same thing. So why do I have to accept that you're about to go have a time in Puerto Rico with somebody else, and I'm here still looking for love, but gotta be okay that you're there having a great time with somebody that's in your past. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to be focused on you, but that's what you're offering me to accept.
And so this trip was how soon after the show?
Like, literally right after. Right after.
The show was beginning of August, I believe. My birthday is at the end of August.
Okay.
So,
After.
He went for his
but
birthday.
again, vacations are previously planned, not planned the day of, right? So
So you weren't done. You weren't done with your past, and that's okay. Don't be done with your past.
I
if you
mean, I
still have
think
that.
that's a very kind of dogmatic way of looking at it, and that's okay if that's your worldview. But
Bro,
it's not
that's
mine.
everybody's
so you
view.
don't have to fall out to walk out. And because somebody's your ex doesn't mean that they still aren't your friend. And so what that means to you can be different. And I think that's unique between people and their relationships.
So did you guys stay in the same room?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So now, Jeremy, if the
Okay.
roles were switched, like for example, let's say her and her ex went on a vacation after you guys met, you would have been totally okay with that, still getting to know her after that trip? Or
Well, I think if it was a previous planned vacation,
Great
I
question.
wouldn't have told her to cancel it yet. Like I don't know that I would have had a problem with that. Like like since we're here, like I met like her child's father like at the barbecue the day of. Like so
That I
was
haven't been
already-
together with for 8 years, 7 years.
Okay.
So-
So
7 years.
whatever type of way though, when we was at the barbecue, he ended up feeling some type of way though, which is
That wasn't because of you. That was because my child at the time, not to get too deep into it, but my child at the time didn't understand how birthdays work. And he was a little upset that somebody else was getting a lot of attention. So, I parented. And my son's dad, we're not together, but he's not really in his life like that. So it was a parenting thing, the why he got upset. Is because, I took full mom mode. He was trying and I excluded that out. So it was a parenting thing of why he left. It had nothing to do with him. And I just feel why you feel like you're that to take that. Like, I don't understand why you think it was for you.
So
Translation, I don't know why you thought you was that important. Like I wasn't sitting on your lap. Like we wasn't caked up. Like why you thought that was for you? Translation, like, and brother, man, that's not the same thing. You going on a trip with your ex and a birthday party and her child's dad is there and they're not flirting or whatever, like that's completely different. Because most likely the child's dad is there for the child, especially because they have not been together for 8 years. You're talking about an ex, and it sounds very previous. And you went on a trip with her, slept in the same room as her. I'm pretty sure the same bed. Bro, that does not correlate, bro. That does not correlate.
and that's not what I was alluding to.
No.
If
was you
you're
alluding to?
placed in those situations, like out of the gate for whatever reason, that just means that there's unresolved tension, if from my estimation or my observation, between you and your baby's father.
No, I have always not liked him. It's just always been like that. I don't like him. He knows I don't like him. Everybody knows I don't like him. But we tolerate each other because he's been in my life for so long that my family invites him everywhere, but they don't look at him as in, oh, that's Breeze. Like,
that's your man.
They would be like, we will even say, like, bring a girl, bring somebody. Like, we would love to meet somebody that you have. Like, we even tell him.
Did y'all like go out or something like that, where you tried to like introduce him to a girl or something like?
Yeah, we've tried to introduce him. We go out to like groups, and before I would have somebody with me, I'll get my friends to try to get him to somebody. Like, sometimes he's into it, sometimes he's not, but that's him. I don't know his life. We're not into that. Like, he's around sometimes. So
But you
the
would
fact that
say
he's not a
that
factor.
but you would say that it's quite possible, even though you guys are exes and have a child together, to be friends and that to be that. Is that possible?
I mean, it's after, like, I don't think of him like that. It's after 7 years.
Okay.
Why is she so intertwined with her baby daddy's love life? She's trying to play matchmaker. Her family's playing matchmaker. They'll take him out to go go get that girl right there. Like, why are you so intertwined with your baby daddy finding somebody? That was just a weird segment. That was a weird part. Am I the only one that feels like that? That was a little weird. Like, could you imagine my fellas that have like baby moms or baby dads or ladies that have baby dads or whatever? Wouldn't that be a little weird if they were trying to hook you up with somebody? This whole ordeal is very strange. She's on some weird stuff, but he's obviously
Exes
wrong.
and have a child together to be friends and that to be that. Is that possible?
I mean, it's after, like, I don't think of him like that. It's after 7 years.
Okay,
So,
so my whole
So
point
he's
is
not a friend to you.
so my whole point
No.
is my whole point is it's possible to be a friend to someone after you've been in a relationship with.
how
And
long
that's
was
what
your
my-
ex was though? How long?
How long? What? We've been broken up for over a year. Like,
That's not a comparison.
yeah,
I was with
but
him when I
don't-
was like
I don't know. I just
17.
want to answer the question. Like,
Like,
I'm
I
confused
have
on why that's
history.
relevant though.
I think
Also,
she's saying like maybe like feelings might still be involved.
Never.
Like on your end, and that's
A
why she was like,
year.
I'm gonna
Bro, how are you making a comparison of a baby daddy situation where she was 17? She got to be like 25, 26 right now. You literally broke up with your ex a year ago. Sir, you're bugging. And you went on a trip with her. You're bugging. Listen, fellas, if you're wrong, just admit to it. Just, handle that like, yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like, this is what... But when you try to explain your madness, knowing what you did was off-putting, you sound even more crazy. Like, you don't need to explain it. Know what I mean? You don't have to win every battle just because you was bugging. Sometimes you got to just fess up. Like, yeah, I know it sound crazy, but honestly, we wasn't really into each other like that. So I took the trip. And I know it looks crazy, but, I did it. But he's trying to explain it. It's just giving Arlette content at this point. Because, bro, what are you talking about? How are you trying to explain this?
I just want to answer the question. Like,
Like,
I'm
I
confused
have
on why
history.
that's relevant though.
I think she's
Also,
saying like maybe like
Why is that
feelings might still
relevant?
be involved.
Never.
Like on your
This nigga
end, and
lost.
that's why
A
she was like,
year.
I'm gonna back up.
I mean,
That's a
that could
year.
be true if I was dating somebody else prior to coming on the show. Like that's an imminent truth, regardless of whether it's an ex or somebody new. So I think like that's not a real danger. Like her exploring what could have been with me, like that us going or on vacation had no hindrance on that. Is what I'm saying.
What?
So you don't think it'd be back in my head of
bugging.
what they're doing on vacation? So it's like for me, like, ooh, I just met somebody. Maybe I could start with, maybe I can go fly and see him. Like maybe there's something new because he's looking for this, looking for that. But then once you tell me like, oh, you're going with your ex, like that's like a slap in the face. And so it's just like, okay, obviously he's not serious, but then you have the means to tell me that I'm not, you didn't get to know me enough. You didn't get to know anything that I was about. You didn't even try. You didn't try at all. Like you
I can
barely
agree with
called
that.
me.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think just based off of what I observed in totality, that did not lead me to put my best foot forward or my best attempt to get to know you. So for that, you're right.
You know what happened? After he met her, he was drawn to her physically. Cause she ain't say nothing that overly sold herself. Once again, fellas, I always say this in my video. He was attracted to her physically. Probably looked past some red flags because her little dress that she was wearing with the whole side cheek out was crazy. When he got behind closed doors, looked at her Instagram and was like, "Oh nah, I can't do this." You know what I mean? I can't do this.
And at the barbecue, it was in my best interest to not like for that. You're right. But I think based off of what you said or what I took away from our conversation at the barbecue, it was in my best interest to not like kind of jump into this more seriously.
I don't see how you're all over me at the barbecue. And then
Yeah,
you're doing
but-
way too much.
but
And so I did send
physicality-
you home on an Uber. So
physicality and like
what you said, it was nice. It was a black truck from what you said from the other
I
podcast you
did.
went on
It was
about
nice.
me, right?
It was nice, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
so
yeah.
physicality, me showing you physical
Damn.
interest, is not the same as me like.
She sent him home in a black truck. She sent him home for doing too much. Think about that. There's a barbecue. He's all over her. Probably like kissing on her, trying to like show some love. And she sends him home like, yo, get up out of here. You're doing too much. This is what I'm saying, fellas. Like, if a girl's not really into you, you gon' know. You gon' know.
So physicality, me showing you physical interest, is not the same as me like pursuing you.
not.
So those are two completely different things. So if
So
I was,
you knew from the barbecue that you no longer wanted to pursue her?
well,
Is that
I
what
just
I'm
kind
getting?
of moved it into a different bracket or a different category, if you will. I just thought it wasn't advantageous for me to take it seriously at all. If you're still having this emotional attachment to your ex.
To the
I
ex.
never had an emotional attachment.
That's what I
This
understood
man
from the
is
conversation.
weird.
So it sounds like there was like a lot of miscommunication.
We weren't even by each other though. He was playing dominoes with everybody.
Well,
Like
no, this conversation
weren't even
happened.
just said she-
Everybody went.
What the hell is happening? He's mad at her because she seemed too emotionally attached to her ex. This nigga going on a trip with his ex. She's saying we wasn't even by each other, but she also just said he was doing too much, being all over her. So she's saying, what is it? Like, who's telling the truth? What the fuck? What am I watching?
inside the house, and I don't know if she remembers because we were a little tip.
no, we weren't.
But we were outside. They were all
happening?
inside the house, and me and her were outside near the barbecue when this particular aspect of the conversation happened. I remember it pretty vividly because I kind of made a mental note of it, like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I was honest. I was thankful for her being honest, but I kind of compartmentalized what was going on at that particular time, and just was more open to just see where it goes. But I'm like,
I've never been.
So just to ask you, Brellaunte, so obviously when he said the whole ex thing, like that's who he's going on vacation with, for you as well, like you didn't care enough to text him either, like, hey, I don't think we're gonna continue this, like.
No, there was no point. He's with his ex still, so his mind's somewhere else. It wasn't. I didn't feel the need to reach out or anything. It was like, okay, back up. Obviously, I did say on the show I choose the wrong guys, obviously. So it was okay. And I was fine with that. I was fine with moving forward. I didn't show him I showed him who I was. We had a great time. I wasn't like flirting with my baby dad. It wasn't anything. He actually left early. So it was just like, he wasn't even there for the rest of the time there. And we had a good time. So that's why I didn't show him any signs that I was.
Why you sent him home early?
Anything. Because the fact that my baby dad's in conversation right now, it really irks me. For a man that you've never showed no interest, no love in the last 7, almost 8 years of your life. And then now that he put that as his reason, it's crazy. So he should be jealous of my exes or something. Like, he should be thinking about them
Jealousy
than
is
of
crazy.
I mean, not jealous, but like meaning like concerned. That's the word. You should be concerned about who I had before. Yeah, before like 2 years ago or something. You should be on that. I'd get that. I would get that.
Why would a nigga have any concerns? Why should a nigga have any concerns messing with you? Like, okay, if you was concerned with look at our let's face. If you was concerned by anybody, you should be concerned about my ex. Like, what? That's so crazy to say. Like, what? You think you just said something? That's crazy.
Before like 2 years ago or something. You should be on that. I'd get that. I would get that. But to make it that, then that's weird.
Of an observation.
But why is my ex as a factor if I never brought them to you?
I think
I never brought them to you. I never. They never came into play. They never like was a conversation. I was focused on you, and come on.
I'm confused. Did you not tell me that you were still in love with your ex? Or did
I said I have love for my ex.
all right.
So you did
that
bring up
was
your
kind of
ex.
a whole space about that where you kind of went into more detail about that, which I won't share here. But for you to kind of just
Might
make it
have
seem
to.
like you just said that is a bit disingenuous. And so what I took away from that conversation and based off of what I observed with your interactions, what you said is that it was not in my best interest to pursue seriously in that way. Like, I was open to allowing it to develop. But as you said, after you left, even after the next day when you were supposed to call me and you didn't, like, I take people like for their word. And when you say you're going to call me, I was expecting that, and you didn't. You just left. And I actually had to reach out to you and was like, hey, I hope you made it home, A, B, and C. And then you end up responding to that. But those are key indicators that you may also not be as serious as you think you are. And so there's no way in hell I'm even thinking about canceling a trip with a friend that's
crazy.
pre-booked. Or
Friend.
even anything that's what we are now. Like we're not
Right.
together. So I mean, like, or like anything remotely close to that for what I've seen in just a 24 or 48 hour period.
That is very
Well,
weird.
Yeah, it just sounds like this
Weird.
was gonna crash and burn from the beginning.
Yes, definitely did.
Oh my
Deadass.
goodness. Well, I mean, at least you guys did hang out a little bit, got to know each other, and saw like, okay, I guess
Yes.
so and so is
I
not
actually
for
think she's
me.
pretty cool though, but like I just the way it went down.
I didn't give you no option of. I just don't feel like you have valid reasons. Like I have a valid reason. You don't.
Okay,
Like
I mean that's fair enough. Like my
Ma'am, are you? Yo, this is two narcissistic people like gaslighting each other. I'm watching two gaslighters. That's why this video has been so confusing, because they gaslighting the hell out of each other. She sat here and said, I never talked about my ex. Then in the next breath said, yes, I said that I still have love for my ex. I thought you just said you never talked about your ex. He's sitting here trying to explain how his ex from a year ago is just a friend and it's appropriate for him to go on a trip with her where he's staying in the same bed with her. Yo, what the hell am I watching? Bro, this is what y'all going through out there? Then she talking about, if you're going to be worried about anybody, don't be worried about my baby daddy. You need to be worried about my exes. Like, what?
have to necessarily be valid to you, and I didn't think your issue was initially valid to me, but I respect it. I don't have anything against you. That's why when I came in, I was wanted to be cordial and speak.
and you said let's get to work, right? So
I mean, because you was throwing shots, so
No,
I
I
just
get
wanted
it.
to make sure we were going to at least be professional.
no,
at
you
the
asked for
very
a hug
least.
and I said I don't want to hug you. I don't like you. Why would I hug
Okay,
you?
so then we started to kind of talk about something
Oh,
else,
she
and then you
being
got
petty.
a little testy. And so I was like, all right, if we're not gonna be cool, then let's at least be professional.
right.
Which I'm glad you're being now. So thank you for that.
But we cannot take away the fact that this is what her Instagram looks like. I can't help but to believe some of the things she was saying. Like, she got videos like this from 9 weeks ago. From 9 weeks ago, bro. Okay, so this can't just be just for music, a music video. Like, she's all over this dude. So let's go to when the episode aired. Okay, so that episode aired about 2 months ago. So this was 2 months ago when this episode aired. 2 months ago, 9 weeks ago. So 9 weeks ago when the episode aired, you posted something like this around that time. This is around the episode airing. I kind of believe him. I kind of believe dude. I'm not going to lie. Here the same. This is in September. This is 6 weeks ago. Oh. Today we all lost a very important person. My heart's heavy, but we gonna push through this. Damn, I'm sorry. He must have passed. That's why he was saying, I don't want to go into it because he ain't want, okay, it's all coming together. And I do understand, like she probably needed some time to move on or whatever, but at the same time, it makes sense why she would say, I'm not completely over my ex or whatever, because clearly you passed. I always have love for him. That's a little different, but I will say this. It is something to consider whether or not you want to move forward with somebody. That is a really dicey situation because the person's not here no more, but you're still getting with somebody that's thinking about somebody else constantly. Even if that person's not here no more. That is very sad. Wow. Okay, but it all makes sense though. That's probably why he was like, okay, I can't take this serious. All right, we just decoded it. That was pretty easy. But hey, man, like I said, I still think there are reasons why he was like, yeah, nah. And he was bugging too. All right. So, anyways, hey man, it's been your boy Ty Boogie. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I know a lot of y'all just be watching, but I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Please help and hit that button. Until next time, man, I'm out of here.